Good morning. Going to be working on a modified pencil here. So I found a pencil online, and I thought it would be a pretty cool idea to basically deconstruct and reconstruct it in my own way. So I'll get a closer shot here in just a second, but this is the prototype that I worked on. Um, so we're basically going to try and make a few more Mother's Day pencils for that. So let's get a closer view right quick. That'll work. All right, so here we have it. This is basically the internals of the pencil right here. And you can see that it's got the threads on it. So we're going to take advantage of those threads there. And going to take advantage of these threads. And then we're also going to take advantage of the eraser tip there. And so I've got some clips as well that I can use, and the pencil also came with clips, so that's also pretty cool. Another cool tidbit is that there is the mandrel saver that you can use, and it is a perfect diameter. The shaft here is a perfect diameter for this project. Might be a coincidence or a convenience. Either way, it makes life a little easier. So if you were looking for another project to do with your mandrel saver and you didn't want to buy a kit, well, guess what? Here is another way you can do that. Anyway, I'm going to show you the blanks that I've got here. Let's switch views right quick. So we've got some blanks here that we're going to use, and the goal is to try and make enough for a couple moms. So let's take a look at right here. You don't need to see that over there. Get that set up. Okay. All right, so here's the blanks that we're going to use. Got a variety of them. And basically, we're going to chop them down to the relative size, and then we're going to drill all the way through them. And then we're going to mount them on the mandrel saver, turn it into the relative shape that we're going for. And then we will continue from there. But without further ado, let's get going. Let's see. So, still working on getting everything set up correctly here. That'll do well. All right. Cool. Good morning, Kevin. Thank you for stopping by. Working on some pencils today for Mother's Day gifts. Don't know about you, but it almost escaped my mind. But this is a pretty simple project that I think can be something that people might really enjoy trying on their own as well. Alrighty. So, got that perfect. Yes. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty cool project. I like to dissect things. Pencils, all right, pencils, and pens. I like to dissect things and try to see if I can put them back together in my own way. That's what today's goal is. Uh, my wife has mentioned that she wanted one of these pins, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can get that set up for her, or get one of those made for her. And then while I'm at it, I might as well get a couple more. So this is generally my story stick that I'm using right here. I'll switch the cameras here. Nope. Oh, sorry about that. All right. Sorry. Still working out all the kinks here. Hopefully I got the audio. Does the audio sound okay? I appreciate that. The camera setup. It's one of those, I don't know, maybe a little OCD, but I wanted to make sure that I had as much set up as I could to have the best viewing experience I could offer. Huh. I might be able to adjust that, but I won't mess with it right now. uh, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get all these cut right quick. Um, my bandsaw is out of the camera view. However, I do have one more or less mobile camera that I can move in order to see that. That'll work. All right. There we go. That'll be good enough. All right, and I'm also going to mute it right quick so you don't have to hear the bandsaw. It's a little loud, so I want you to have to hear that. Good. And back here. So I used to have the other one set up. That way you can see the overview as well as the metal lathe, but it didn't save, I guess. Always something. The bandsaw, I believe, is a... I don't know. I'd have to measure it. It's definitely not quite for ripping, but let's measure it. So we got, let's see, 4, so it looks like it would be an 8. 8 T threads per inch. But the other one is a Resaw King, and I don't use it unless I'm ripping something pretty significant. But it's got 115 teeth or 115 inch blade. I'm sorry, and it's got the carbide tip on it as well. So it's a pretty sweet one. All right, so I use the metal lathe for this. I like to keep the end out just a little bit. Oh, it's no problem. That's the type of stuff I knew when I was doing all the research for it, but then I forget about it because it's not something that I need to change out very often and stuff like that. So no problem at all. And so the reason I am using a 1/4 inch drill bit is because the shank or shaft here of the mandrel saver is a 1/4 inch. So trying to keep everything as snug as possible because it's going to be mounted in between the bushings just like you would for a regular kit. So that's why I'm using a 1/4 inch drill bit. I typically don't worry about any sort of lubrication when I am doing my drilling because Alumilite is pretty forgiving. However, if I was using acrylic, I might be a lot more likely to want to use some sort of drilling fluid or cutting oil or something like that. But because it's very forgiving and I'm not keeping the drill bit in there too long, it should be fine. No problem. Bit of a tedious process, but at least I can just, hand feed it through. I don't own a drill press, and I don't feel like I've really missed out on that or anything because I do most of my drilling with the lathe. Although, I guess I kind of take that back. I do have a Dremel drill press over there. I got that specifically for a different project that is in addition to all my pin making stuff. I'll let that be a surprise for a little later. Sweet. All right, so we're all the way through. I'm not going to worry about threading yet. I will just remount it once I'm done. And I have a interesting way to mount that. So something that I used to think all the time was that you needed to use a center start bit, and for sure, but you know, when it's spinning like this, the drill bit likes to find the middle already. So I only do that for different things, really. The other reason I started hand feeding like that with the tailstock, just moving the tailstock forward and backwards, is because it is a metal lathe, and the threaded shaft on the tailstock is a pretty precise one. So it would take a lot more rotations, and it just takes a lot longer. So it's also a bit of a time saver. You still got to make sure that you're being careful, because I have caught the outside of it and then kind of messed up the whole thing, at least on the outside. Oh, it does definitely run nice and smooth. I have no complaints with the lathe itself. Let's see. As for the other side, I want to flatten it as well, because I cut it from both sides, but I just want to make sure it's nice and flat. So when I mount it on the mandrel saver, it'll be good to go. Let's see. That'll work. Just a quick little sandpaper touch right here. Smooth out the inside. I have, let's see. I think for this one, because of what it didn't quite go as I hoped it would. We're just going to do a slight bevel on the inside there. Oh, south bends are nice. Yeah, south bends are, from what I've heard at least, they're nice. I've never actually used one, but I assume that they're a really nice machine. Let's see. I've got a little story stick, and this is going to need to be a bit shorter. Let's see. I had a fine point Sharpie. Guess it's tucked away elsewhere. Here we are. That'll work. Oh no. Are you savvy enough to rebuild it yourself, or are you gonna have somebody else come and take care of that for you, or what? There we go. That's better. Just a tiny bit more. Ah, I got you. We'll just keep that as it is for now. What's your favorite type of material to use? Were you a machinist before? Ah, gotcha. Yeah, that's always a good time. Always a good time. Doing stuff in the garage. I don't know if I should ask, or you don't have to answer either way, but I have quite a few projects at various stages of completion. I don't know if you're like that as well, but it's kind of the story of my life, I guess, when it comes to all kinds of ideas and then start working on different ones and then, oh man. Oh, that's cool. Well, I don't know if you've seen my video about the bead making, but beads are pretty cool as long as you can find, um, the people that are interested in nice custom colors and stuff like that. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know if I could take on a project like that. That's a hefty project. But once you get to the end of it, getting it taken care of and everything, I bet it'll be one of those sweet victories. Like everything's all done and set and you'll be good to go. Man, that sounds like good fun. Alrighty. Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna pop that out just a little bit more. That's too funny. It's funny, the project I'm working on are actually up both mine and her alley because we work together. She makes a lot of the blanks that I use, and well, pretty much all the blanks that I use, and she helps me sell the pins and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Got a team going on. All right, let's see. We're looking. Yeah. So I got to ask, what are you more interested in making? Is it beads or pins? don't know if I like that. Nope, nope. All right. Nice. So you trying to get into kitless pin making or bespoke? Man, I love turning bespoke pins. I like them particularly because the uh, the limitation of them is just non-existent. It seems you can keep learning and dialing it in. You know, whether you like to focus on tolerances to make it, you know, as line up as perfectly as possible, or to add a variety of details, or you know, whatever it is that you happen to like doing specifically. I also like that you can combine a lot of elements to it. For example, you could do something along the lines of creating a ring channel and then putting opal inlay if you wanted, or you know, working on some metal with yeah, the Damascus and making your own clips, stuff like that. It's always so cool, and I just love how unique all of them are. Is it the price for all of the stuff that keeps you from starting, or have you made the leap into all the components that you'd need? Ugh. Oh, I was asking if you had all the hardware, the tooling that you would need for it. The taps and dies and mandrels and all that stuff. Three different mandrels. All right. Well, here's one of the videos that I've kind of got going around in my head right now. One of the videos I was thinking about making is getting set up with like a a pretty a cheaper set of taps and dies, and being able to do it, you know, kind of on a budget. So one of the things is I took a bolt and I cut it. And so that ended up being my mandrel here. I'll go back to the other screen right quick. So I've got a bolt that is my mandrel, and it fits right inside my collet chuck. And then this is, you just get a bolt that correlates with the tap and die that you're using. And I'm using just a 1/2 inch and a 3/8 inch. The only specialty tap that I had to get was the one for the nib that I planned on using. So that's pretty cool. I think people would enjoy that, but who knows? I could be way off. And then I guess it's just one of those things that I don't know. You may, I guess, start when you hear somebody else say it, and then you can start working on whatever it is. Um, but I don't know. I've bought so many things that I totally didn't need. So maybe I could, help somebody else not have to buy all that crap. But, you know, who knows? Just have to see. And that's how I started when I was working on making them in the first place. I didn't know what triple start even was. But over time, I've in studying all the other people that were around at the time, I guess I kind of, trial and error, and then a little bit of research and looking at people's stuff, and kind of dissecting it and looking at it, and then having a thread finder, which is an awesome tool to help solve that problem. But yeah, that could definitely be something that I would do here in the near future. Weird. It sounds like, okay, I'm seeing that there's some audio now, but man, you're right. It wasn't there for a minute. Weird. Okay. Well, I can't use that other one without changing the scene. Okay, good to know. And I appreciate you letting me know, for sure. So let's see. Got this set, that set. We are going to measure this right quick. All right. So my target is to make it pretty flush. And so it's about 8.3 for that end. And then for this end, it's about the same. So we'll go 8.5 will be the target. That way I can sand a little bit more off. So it looks about flush with the bushings. It's a good guide. So if you are getting into pin making, highly suggest getting a set of calipers if you don't already have them. Digital, but I find that it's got all the different settings. I don't have to convert the inches to millimeters, fractions and all that stuff. It's annoying. So I just use the digital ones and it takes care of all that for me, just the tap of a button. But yeah. So we're going to take this down to the diameter of the bushings here. And we're going to do a shape. Yeah, I guess we'll do pretty standard shape. I don't want to do anything too fancy. Some people don't like fancy. I'm going to keep it simple. Alrighty. Ah, you have a few of the calipers. Let's get this a little closer if I can. Cool. Alrighty. Hopefully it's not too loud. Actually, I will go ahead and mute while I do the turning. Yeah. I use regular carbide. So the EasyWood tool set is what I use, and I like it, but I don't like the cost of the carbide replacement tips. So just a regular carbide. And everybody's got their preference on those types of things, but my kind of rule of thumb, if I'm going to to turn any acrylic or resin, then I am going to be using carbide. And if I'm going to be turning primarily wood, then maybe I would have some high-speed steel. I do have a whole set of high-speed steel. It's just I don't turn wood as often as I turn resin. So it makes it so I guess I have both options because of that. Okay. So this is kind of I don't know how well the detail will pick up here, but what I'm doing is I am using a metal file and I'm trying to get these lines out. Basically make it all uniform in all the way across to make the whole surface nice and flat. As you can see, like right hold on, there you go. You can see right here and right here specifically, it's where my tool kind of went a little deeper into the blank than I wanted it to. And so I have to kind of file everything else around it to smooth it out. And that, I don't know if you can see it, but that white area is, where I just sanded, obviously, but the part that's untouched is showing you the valleys of it. So once everything is like that, then we know that we're smooth again. Or at least closer to. Nice. There we go. All right. Pretty good. Not perfect, but a little sanding will take care of that. Now to get the rest of them like that. Alrighty. I'm gonna mute again. That way I can get these turned right quick without messing up your ears. All right. Cool. Now we got them all pretty much how we want. Now we've got to see what end we're going to thread. Yeah, we got to see what end we're going to thread. Oh no. But yeah, results of that so far. And think this side will be threaded. We will organize them as such. That side will be threaded. That side will be threaded. That side will be threaded. Now, one last thing. So we're going to add clips to them. And we're going to use some clips that just wrap around. There we are. There we are. Three. Boom. And boom. There we are. That, boom. Okay. Whew. Probably should have had that already, but I didn't. The next thing we're going to do is got to create the channel for that before I sand and polish, and then we'll thread afterwards after sanding and polishing. And then once that's all done, yeah, that'll be good. Move this over just a little bit. Cool. Alrighty. Where? Oh. Bingo. All right. I'm going to grab my four-jaw chuck right quick. And where's that other piece? Hmm. There you are. Taking some tools and different components of tools and using them for different purposes, which is kind of fun. So this will be so I can, after I sand and polish it, so I can thread it. Yes. Yeah. Alrighty. That's gonna go. And then for this, go here. And this is the clip that's going to go on that one. I don't know if you can see. It's got a Damascus look to it, which is really cool. It's going to be for one of them. Then the other ones are going to have these. They're going to have these clips. I dropped one, of course. There we go. So next thing I'm going to do is measure the inside diameter of the clips. right, so inside, is that right? Okay. So that. I need to expand this a bit. Let's see. There we go. I expand these out just a little bit. So we're about 7, 8, about just under 8 millimeters. So if I were to do that, I wanted to make it about 7.5, 7.8. Which will be right there. I think we want to, yeah, I like it that way. We're going to want to, all right, we will take you to about 10. That'll work. That will help expand this a little easier, but do not. Some darn dogs barking out there. Jeez. Be quiet, dogs. Okay. Let's shoot for 10 initially on the outer. And also going to do this. So no, not yours. There's some dogs outside. I'm not sure what their dealio is. Okay, mark that. We'll go just below it. It's actually going to be up here. It's a click mechanism. Be up there. Way down here, so we'll split the diff. Go here and here. And is that adequate? That looks about good. So just going to go here, that one, here, with that one. Okay. I'm going to take this channel down to 10 millimeters. We don't have very far to go, so nice and easy. I'm going to use a parting tool for this. Nice. All right. Good. Take it up just a little bit more.
It's not our dogs. There's a dog out front.
Why?
I don't know. I tried to get him, but he won't come to me. It's a little black and brown dog. That's not our dogs.
Chase him off.
I tried and he came back.
Make him scat.
We need to leave in about 20 minutes. Like, need to be gone.
Wow.
It's 12 already.
Okay. Dang. Time flies when you're having fun. Right. I guess there's a random dog that is running out around and about and just being obnoxious. Okay, so we are at 10. Need to drop it down a little bit more on the left side here. So try to get okay. Cool. Sweet. Now we're going to sand and polish this right quick. Well, as quickly as we can without sacrificing any of the quality here. All right. Oh, I meant to ask, for the lathe that you recently got, what kind was it again? And the other question I had was, does it have variable speed? Alrighty. Okay. Try to get this knocked out right quick. She's running nicely. A couple spots to address, no problemo. First grit I start off with is 240. It's a pretty coarse grit. And it will help with those other file marks that I made before. And I am sanding at 600 to 700, which is, in my opinion, the best way to do it. And I am pretty brave with this piece of cardboard and paper towel here. Okay. Looking nice. Check the diameter again. Okay. For the most part, that's going to be covered up, so I'm not really hugely concerned with it. But I don't really want it to go back to level or be beveled too much. Oh, sorry. The my second sandpaper is a 320. And then the next one is 400. Yeah. So this is a 400. The next one is 600. And the next one is 800. Then we got 1,000. And then we got 2000. Then lastly, for the sandpaper, we got 2500. Right. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. I'll get the, and then let's see. Oh yeah. All right. Well, that's a really good range, and so I don't think that you're going to be you're gonna go wrong with having a good variable speed with a big range like that. Um, so as far as sandpaper goes, the only thing that I would say, I guess specifically, would be I would use a wet dry sandpaper, one that could be either. Um, I know that some sandpaper can just be either one if you just put water on it, sure. But some of them are designed to where the grit doesn't come off as easily. So from my understanding, that's more of what that's like. And some people also use micro mesh, which is also a pretty good route as well. But in my opinion, I think micro mesh is a little too expensive, at least for the amount that I go through, and I don't really need a piece of sandpaper with a cushion. So my fingers are cushion enough, and I don't press super hard on the sandpaper. And so that's kind of my solution to that. Hope that answers your question. But we buy big sheets of it. My wife does. And she cuts them. And she cuts them into squares. So let's see. Gonna do some polishing. And using Magic Juice. I don't know if you've heard of it. It is from Stadium Pin Blanks. Tried all kinds of finishes that I also hope to talk about in the future, about the different types of finishes that I've tried, as well as the outcome and whether or not I guess my thoughts on it. So mesh, micro mesh is good. It'll work well. It'll definitely work well. And as far as Zona paper goes, I use Zona paper for like polishing the insides of pins, which is kind of a I guess something that a lot of people, I guess, haven't thought of doing, because you don't want things that are too abrasive inside the pin when you're trying to get it as a demonstrator. But yeah, again, that's a really good question. So I would use Zona paper just for the inside internal polishing. But other than that, I just find it to be not abrasive enough. And then when I need it to be a little bit more abrasive, it doesn't have that capability. At least I don't think so. But yeah, Magic Juice 6-step polishing compound. It is a polishing compound that is pretty unique in the sense that it doesn't leave like a friction polish residue or something like that. It's actually just, you know, a continuation of sandpaper. It's like putting the grit onto your paper towel in a way with paste. So I guess that's a way to think of it. Let's see. All right, that's looking good. Let's see if we can finish this bad boy up. That way you can actually see one of them done before I have to leave. Right. Alrighty. Oh yeah, Magic Juice is awesome. Haven't found anything that does a better job. So there's the one that we just finished up. And then here's this one. I obviously don't have the channel in it yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and so test fit. That'll need to be opened up a little bit more. That's okay. So I'm putting a 4-jaw chuck on, and it's got these pads from, like a silicone pad from like bowl turning. It's got the faceplate. It's got the faceplate from like turning bowls. Or that's where I got the little silicone screw-in pieces. So, got this. That T-handle. Then I'm going to tighten down onto it. That way it doesn't mess it up. This doesn't need to be like super perfect because the threading, or the, sorry, not the tap will kind of fix it. And then I'll tighten her down. So a little bit of pressure. Now we're ready to go. And then definitely when you're threading, you want to make sure that that tailstock is unlocked. But here we go. And I'm just spinning the headstock with my hand here. Go back and forth a couple times. Almost there. Nice. Spin this around. And what we're going to do is get a slightly larger bit to give it room here. That's too big. It won't work. So we started at 1/4 inch, so we need to go just a tiny bit larger here. Maybe a 7mm we'll do here. Yeah. $7mm. And yes, it goes, I go back and forth from metric to imperial all the time. It's kind of crazy. All right, so before we do that, I want to make sure it's turning true. So that's pretty good. Just gonna go in a little bit here. And it should line itself up because of these bushings being kind of soft. And then we'll turn it off and then back it up. And that fits nicely with a little bit of space. All right. Moment of truth here. So we got this, and I'll touch up these different parts, but so we've got this end part here that screws in. I'm gonna have to do just a slight relief on the inside right here. That way it fits flush. But then we have the other end that the eraser is gonna go on. And I'm gonna make sure that it's got enough to engage, which it does. You can see that it's advancing the lead, and there's not really any play, which is perfect. That's how we want it to be. And lastly, I'm going to need to get this clip expanded a bit more before I put it on. But that's one pin, pencil rather. So I will get some sweet glamour shots once I get it all finished up. I was hoping to get one done at least, but almost. Anyway, let's see. I do apologize to kind of cut it short, but I gotta go to the kids' soccer game. But if I can, I'll be back out and finishing these up because, you know, tomorrow is that day when these are kind of due by. So, got to get back out and finish those things. But yeah, I definitely appreciate you hanging out with me, and what a good time. And I hope that you learned something, you know, it was at least worthwhile for you. And yeah, but yes, sir. I appreciate you, Kevin, for being here, and hope that you'll come back when I'm getting back to it. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll do my best to answer them. And because I like figuring stuff out, if I don't know the answer, I will definitely try to figure it out if it's something, obviously, that is in the wheelhouse of what it is that I'm doing. Awesome. That's awesome. So good to hear. Well, welcome to the hobby. And I will see you in the next time. Have a good day.